Hello everyone, it's Madolche here. Welcome back to another video. Today I've got a deck profile on blind second Madolche and Macedol. I got Plat 1 the first two seasons with this deck. I think I had like a 70-75% win rate in Plat those two seasons. It's also very fast. It took me like 4 or 5 hours to get to Plat 1 from Plat 5, so it's a pretty good ladder deck. This deck list is by no means optimal. If I had all the cards, I would play cross out one or both of Droplets and Dark Ruler and like Nib. But what I have here is good enough. I've not really made any changes over the two seasons. I just made the deck at the start and then just kept playing with it. The only changes that I did craft the Zeus just for the XYZ event and went 8-0 in that and then just stopped playing because the gem wasn't bad at that point. And a decent enough upgrade. I'm not really going to explain the Madolches, there's so many videos of people doing that. Got the very standard lineup of 2 Hook Cake, 3 Mag, 2 Gelato, 3 Angeli, 3 Petting, and a Pudding. And then the standard lineup of spells of 1 Shutter, 1 Ticket, and 1 Salon, which is standard for going second. If you go first, you probably want more. And then I've still got the 2 Prom. If you're going first, you probably want like a Knights or something. Then for the hand traps, I've got 12 of them. This means that with a 45 card deck, I have a 40% chance of opening 2 of them. I think that's very needed against a deck like Drytron or Adamancipator, because I've built the rest of my deck for Eldritch with like the Lightning Storm and Evenly instead of like Droplet and Dark Ruler. So unless I open the 2 hand traps, I'm basically going to lose against those decks, because I don't really have a way to out. I like the Herald, for example, if it would summon it. That's why Maxi isn't in here. Firstly, you don't really want too many discard hand traps, because it turns your like 9 starters into 5. So it's not too good for that reason, although most people are playing it just because of being able to cross out it. But if I draw it and another hand trap, it doesn't technically do anything. Like, if I draw into another hand trap, that means yes, okay, it does something, but a Drytron player can just keep playing it. If I don't draw into that second hand trap, they're going to have their full combo and I'm just not going to be able to beat them, because I can draw a million evenly matched Lightning Storms or Madolches or whatever, and then they're going to have enough negates to stop me. So starting off, I guess I have Driver for the Gamma. Then I have one copy of Veiler. So I know I said I don't really want discard hand traps, and this definitely would not be Veiler had I access to Nib, which I think is what this would be, and maybe like a second Nib instead of the first copy of Herald. But this is just what I had, because when I was playing the Going First build, which is what I started with in the low ranks of like the first season, there were so many times I was like, I wish I had this Hulksley and Axis Code combo my extra deck, so I made it, and then Veiler was just needed for part of that, and I kept it in here for, again, just keeping up the 40% chance. And so this is a decent go second card. Then I've got 3 copies of Herald. So even though again I said you don't really want the discard hand traps, I think Herald's good because it's very impactful going second hand trap, given that it negates and destroys. But it also helps against like the main problem Madolche have is that they can very often just lose to a hand trap, and Herald's just a way to negate the hand traps. In the format of a Maxi, I think you need just as many ways to negate Maxi as possible, which is why I'd also have a cross out had I had the crossouts. But Herald is just what I have for this. Also, it allows you to stop Nib. If you were to open Gamma or the Core by the Grave, those don't have the Nib. Crossout would, obviously. But Herald is just there for that. Which is very easy to make. If you're playing a more budget Madolche deck, it's a rare, so you can just grab through these very easily. So I'd still probably, but it's a very good card, so I'd still probably play at least 2 in a more optimal build. Also against Drytron, if you were to have a copy, any copies of cross out, you could also cross out their Herald. So say if you were to Dark Ruler or Droplets their the Herald of Ultimateness on field, then their only interrupt's going to be this Herald in hand, because they don't really play any other hand traps. So if you have the cross out for the Herald, you're basically going to win. And then I've got 2 copies of Gamma, very similar to Herald, has all the same positives. It helps protect your plays, because if you're going to tribute Angeli, that's when they'll Ash, and then you have a monster on board, so you can Gamma. If you activate the Prosperity, it'll Ash, and that's where you can Gamma. If you reveal Petting in hand, and that's what they Maxi, because they don't respect Gamma, that's what you Gamma. And then also has the added benefit of not actually going to the graveyard, because it gets banished in the end phase. And if you use it, you can also use it for other things, as long as you're not using Petting, because if you're doing the Gamma, or Synchro, or whatever the Gamma away, then you have something engraved, so you can't Petting. But if you're starting with an Angeli, you can then turn the Gamma into, say, the Hulk, if you're going second, to either threaten a Unicorn or the Selene combo. Or if you're going first, this would be Omega if I had it, but what I have here is Masquerena, just to set up a Masquerena into a Unicorn or something as an extra interrupt. Then I've got 3 copies of Ash. Again, this is a discard hand trap, but when you're doing like ladder play, you're going to be playing against so many different decks and not just the top meta that you want something that's good against literally every deck, so that's why I think it's fine to play the Ash Blossom, even though it's a discard hand trap. Unless I've got 3 Imperm. This is just the best not the hand trap that doesn't put a monster in the graveyard outside of Nib and Gamma, so that's just why this is here. Then for these spells, I've got 3 copies of Lightning Storm. So as I said, I've built this deck for Eldritch, so I've got the 3 Lightning Storm, the 3 Evenly, and 2 MST. It's like a 8 spell and trap removal. But as I said with Ash, you want cards that are good against everything. So Lightning Storm has a dual mode, so you can either blow up the monsters or the back row. So say against a deck like Tri-Brigades, you can either blow up their Revolt, so as long as you have a Rugal that stops the Shiraig, or you can blow up their Appaloosa, depending on what the rest of your hand is and what you need gone from them. Again, against stuff like Eldritch, you're just going to blow up their back row, so it's a blowout card against that, as long as you don't have Judgment or a Golden Land Forever. Or against other decks, they might just set like a random back row, so you can blow that up, or if they're going to have like maybe like a Borrowed Savage, it's just like 1 negate or whatever, that's in attack mode, you can trade this for that negate and play. Then I've got 3 copies of Prosperity. This is basically your 10th through 12th like starters, so copies of Madolches basically. I don't know for a 45 card deck, but for a 40 card deck, I think it's like a 60% chance that on a reveal of 6 you're going to see a Madolche off this. So there's a very good chance you're going to be hitting your Madolches. Otherwise, if you already have one, you can grab like a Lightning Storm or blow a card like that, or a Call by Grave to insulate your plays, or you can grab like a Petting if you already have like an Angel as a normal, or vice versa, so you can get a play off through like 1 Ash still. Then I've got the 2 MST. This would be Feather Dust and Reboot if I had them, but yeah, this is basically, as I said, your 6th, 7th and 8th copy of back row removal. But MST is good enough. A lot of people are like Eldritch are playing like Floodgates and stuff, so it's not like I'm blind MSTing to their back row. I'm going to wait for them to flip on like their IO, their Skill Drain, their Summon Limit, their Vanity's Emptiness, whatever. This will deal with that, or if they flip up like a Conqueror or a Quero, I can use this to deal with that also. So that's why it's like good enough. Also, if you like go first, or get made to go first against like Numeron, you can use it on like their field spell or something like that. And then we've got 2 copies of Called By. As I said before, you just want anything that negates a hand trap, so Called By is really good there. And then similar to MST, if I go against like a Numeron that make me go first, I can like use this on their Planet Pathfinder or something like that. So it's decent enough if you go first or second. And then lastly, for the main deck, I've got 3 evenly. This is basically Lightning Storm, 4, 5, and 6, because it's good against both monster and back row decks, as long as it's a bunch of things. And then this and Lightning Storm are kind of good together, because if they leave like a back row or a monster, I can then Lightning Storm whichever one they keep, so it doesn't really matter if I draw both. It doesn't really matter that you use your battle phase, because in your main phase 2 you're going to Tiara whatever the last card they keep is anyway. You're just going to set up your board of like the Prom, and then they will have too many cards to play with, so you're going to win anyway, even if you're just not killing them. And then for the extra deck, I've got 2 of each of the Madolches, XYZs. If I had 3 copies of all of them, I'd probably play 3 of one of them. I know a lot of people playing 3 teachers, so that would probably be it, but 2 is good enough. There's not been like a single game where I needed like 3 copies of any of them. So you can definitely like make do, especially going second with 2 of each of them if you want to be a bit more budget. And then the rest of the extra deck literally don't matter. They could be literally whatever. So again, there's another place you can be a bit more budget if you wanted to. I guess to say if you want to be budget in the main deck, you would play like more MST, maybe like Book of Moon, Chalice, that kind of thing, if you wanted to be a bit more budget there. Because the Madolches yourself are like SRs and URs, so it's a pretty expensive deck. Then I've got the Zeus. So this is like petting Luxury into Madolche, so this isn't something like the rest of the extra deck isn't something you're going to be making on turn 1, apart from obviously the Madolche Link maybe. But this is all for like if you don't kill them, this is like the next turn. Where you would make whichever you want depending on what you need. So Zeus is obviously if you have an XYZ that you can attack, and then you can slam this on top, just have more interrupts. You've got your own Dino Magician in Chocolate, so you can very easily get the 4 material Zeus. And then I've got 1 Sister. I don't think this card is very good, but a lot of people do like this card. I just prefer to have a Hook Cake that's unaffected by battle. That can't be destroyed by battle, I say. Then a Sister that can't be destroyed by battle because Hook Cake actually does something. So they need an interrupt for Hook Cake where, on like a following turn where they don't need an interrupt for Sister because it doesn't do anything. But you just need this 1 Sister because sometimes you just need to link away Madolches. Either if that's to put something engraved for Tiara or to put something engraved to trigger the Glassy Flay Shuffle Back effect so you can set off the Salon. so that's what's needed. This plus the 2 chocolate is normally what you'll end on, and with the Chateau boost, that's 8k exactly, so same thing as Who Cake, so that's just how you're going to be OTKing people often. And I've got the 1 copy of Hulk, as I said, for the Hulk Celine Access Code combo. This could also turn 2 monsters into 3 if you wanted to make like a unicorn. But this combo doesn't come out too much. Actually, that can be literally whatever you want, but this is just what I had, so it's what I've got here. And I have the 1 Phoenix. This is just for if you had like a summer limit or a floodgate like that and I want to remove it, it's just, you know, how I can do that from the extra deck. And we've got the 1 Masquerader, as I said with Gamma, this is just for that, turn 1. But you could also make it on like the following turn, and like your second turn if you, then you could set up for like a unicorn, shuffle as an extra interrupt again. Then I have the unicorn, it's just a good stepping stone for the access code, because it's link 3, make the access code 53. And then it's there for the Masquerader, and it's just, you know, removal, similar to Phoenix, you can use it to get rid of things. Then I have the 1 Celine, again for the Hulk Celine access code combo. Mang is also a spellcaster, so you can, on turn 2, just hard make it with 3 monsters, and then your combo inherently sets up 2 spells in the Chateau and Salon, and maybe also the ticket. So it's very easy to get the 3 spell counters that you need, and then you can just summon back the Mag, and then you can make access code that way, even if you don't have the Veiler. And then I have the 1 Boral Sword. Sometimes you just can't kill people with access code, so depending on the board you want to make a Boral Sword to try and kill people. And this is also what I have for cards like the Ignista Link, or like Ultimate Falcon or something like that, where you can't get rid of them with the Tiara, so you need this to be able to attack over them. A lot of people, and probably what I would play if I had it, is Underworld Goddess, because that also deals with a card like Crooked Cook, which Boral Sword doesn't. So you just, you want 1 slot or 2 slots in your extra deck for like the unaffected monsters, basically. And then lastly, I've got 1 access code, just a very easy way to try curveballs and kill people on your second turn. So that's it for the deck. I think I have a couple of replays, so I will go into them now. Okay, so I've got 3 replays here, all against Plat 1 players. I think we've got ones against Sky Striker, Tri-Brigade, and ABC, so 2 very good decks and 1 pretty good deck. So starting off here against Strikers. So I'm going to put Gamma, Mag, Petting, Lightning Storm, and Imperm, so it's a pretty good hand. You know, combo plus some hand traps. I'm going to open Ray into Shizuku. And here I decided to Imperm the Shizuku in the end phase as opposed to Gammering. This is because I was just really scared of Maxi, honestly. Even though I have Petting in hand instead of Angeli, if I was to reveal it and they Maxi me, then I have the chance of Gammering the Maxi. Also, if I Gamma them, they would summon back the Ray, which could mean, you know, some shenanigans could happen, and I might miss the opportunity to shuffle the Ray in back into the deck with the XYZ, which is you know, kind of what the plan was. So that's why it's that Imperm here. Even though there's a chance that this might make my Gamma like not live at all, I'm just too scared of Maxi. So that's why I did this. I draw Angel for turn, which is pretty good. So that means I can play through 1 hand trap. And I do have Maxi, so I am very smart. And I Gamma them, except they have Ash Blossom, so yeah, it's not going to work. So here I just decided to summon the Petting, give them the 1 draw, and then I'm not going to continue my play. I'm just going to crash into this Shizuku to keep my Gamma alive. Like I could summon 1, give them the extra draw, and then shuffle in their Ray from the graveyard, and then attack into the Shizuku. But this is just what I decided to do. Maybe the other play's right, maybe this play's right, who knows. They're going to link the Shizuku off. Little Hayate. So they can attack and put like an engage in the graveyard, but here I'm going to Gamma them because there's no Sky Striker spells in graveyard, so it doesn't matter if they resummon the Ray and try and make a Kagari. So I'll just do it here, not wait for the Kagari, because they don't get the spell engrave. And just Greek Shizuku again, set 1, and then Shizuku for engage. And I'm going to draw Prosperity for turn. And I'm going to start by Lightning Storming their back row just in case it's something scary. Maybe I could have started with Prosperity, but yeah, it doesn't matter too much. Prosperity for 6. And I think I'm going to grab the Petting here. yeah, I do grab the petting, because again, that gives me combo through one hand trap, because I have petting plus Angeli. So I'm going to summon this, summon the Hook Cake, and then I'm going to summon the Angeli, tribute the Angeli to summon Gelato, and then use Gelato effect to search. This definitely is not the optimal combo when you do that, but I'm kind of just used to doing it this way because it plays around Gamma. Also, this guy had like a hand trap that was activatable at any point in time, so I was scared of a card like a DD Crow or something, so I just did it this way. So I could guarantee play through DD Crow if I try and make the XYZ and shuffle, try and shuffle back, and he DD Crows me, or if I Hook Cake Banish and he DD Crows, and I can't put another monster in the grave, that ends my combo, so that's why I did it this way, just to play around that. And then I'm going to make Teacher, probably. Yeah, I'm going to make Teacher, because I can shuffle the Ray in, and this spell, and I'm going to use Hook Cake, and he has Lancia, so it turns out it was Lancia instead of DD Crow, but you know, the combo was good enough that I went for. I decided to change Glass Souffle for no real reason, like I've done it literally whenever. So I just did it then. And I'm obviously going to Glass Souffle, bag of stuff in his grave, get rid of his spell, and get rid of his Ray, so I can attack over this Shizuku without having anything. Attack, and we're just going to set the Promenade for next turn. And then he draws Afterburner, which is going to out my glass, so just use it to protect Hook Cake from any monster effects, in case, I don't know, there's something like a Shizuku and trying to attack over, or I could go, oh, yeah, okay, I already would attack over, but yeah, Shizuku. And then I'm going to prom the engage, and hope they don't have anything else. Unfortunately, they have Avarice, so yeah, last turn I decided to shuffle away the Striker spell, when I could have shuffled away one of the monsters, so they would not have enough Avarice. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, but they do actually, turns out they have it anyway, because of the fact they had the Lancia, so it's good that I did it that way. Just gonna hope they don't draw anything, and turns out they don't, so I'm lucky. And draw another petting. I'm going to start with Hook Cake effects, just see if they got like a Lancia or something, and it doesn't have Maxi again. And I'm going to summon Gelato so I can grab the Search for the prom, but it turns out they have a Veiler. So here, because I don't have any interrupts, because I'm not going to be able to get to a prom this turn unless I go full combo, I decided to normal summon the Mag to grab a Search and then make the Teacher just so I can get rid of this Engage from the graveyard, because I really wanted to keep them off the Engage. Obviously I attack first because it's more damage. Shuffle this, and I shuffle in the Avarice to keep them off the spell. I could have shuffled in the Afterburner, but I think it's better if they were to draw the Avarice as opposed to the Afterburner, because they don't have 5 engrave for the Avarice, so it would make that a brick. And if I need to shuffle the Afterburner, I'll just do it on my turn anyway, on their turn anyway, so it doesn't really matter. The start upstart, hit the field spell, and then a normal Ray, so it turns out they got something pretty good. I'm just going to prom a material on this for no apparent reason, probably just because annoyed that it kept asking me about it. I expected this to survive till next turn anyway. So summon Hayate with the area, they're going to reveal Ray, Rose, and multi-roll, and they'll take the multi-roll. And then they go battle phase, attack with the Hayate, and then they use Hayate to send engage, yeah, and then here I'm just going to Glass Souffle and protect the Hook Cake just in case they try to ZK or something. And then shuffle away the Afterburner and the Engage, leaving them with no spells engrave. No striking spells anyway. So I'm going to make Shizuku and set one and pass. And then the Shizuku for Engage, hopefully to get it next turn. And I'm going to top deck Herald, which makes me feel pretty good because I can get combo through Maxi, which they have the third one. Haha, except this time I have Herald. And realizing that they are dead, they are going to scoop it up, I believe. Yeah, they're going to scoop it up. So on to the second replay here. I believe this is Tri-Brigades that I'm against. And I'm going to open Angeli, putting double call by and pot, so I've got no interrupts, so I'm not feeling too good, but at least I have combo plus double call by, so depending on what they make, we can at least do something. They're going to start with Tenki for Fractal, and they're going to Fractal send Kit, send Nerval, and then they're going to use Nerval effect to search for a Fractal. At least I think so. I just replayed like 10 minutes ago, so kind of surprising to still remember. And then they're going to Desires, once they've got all their searches. And they're going to Fractal for Bear Broom, and then they're going to do the interesting play of Bear Broom effect, discarding 2, summon 2 back, but it also means they can get double Dragon Lords by banishing with a Kit. And they're going to make the 3-mat Appaloosa, and then they're going to grab their Revolt. And they also set 8 on the card with their Revolt, no idea what that is. Turn, I'm going to draw Ash, a bit late, but I'm going to start with Prosperity for 6, because I have Call By, so I'm fighting against an Ash or something. Hopefully going to grab like an Evenly or a Lightning Storm. I managed to grab Evenly, which is very, very good against their board, given that they don't have any Omni Negates. So I'm going to Evenly, they're going to chain the Revolt just so they can get some the Search off Nerval for next turn. And maybe a Kit dump if they wanted to, but they don't decide to do it, I think. They just go for Nerval effect. And they keep the Appaloosa, because that's the most negates, and then I'm going to call by the Nerval just to hopefully keep them off Tri-Brigade access for next turn. And then I can't play around this Appaloosa with what I have in hand, so I'm just going to set this call by and pass, and just to hope the call by on the Nerval was enough. I can maybe call by another one they have if they draw it, because I've got all the names in there. So I'm good for at least another turn. Yeah, so they didn't draw anything, so maybe somebody got a hand trap or something. I thought they were petting, so I'm going to use petting effect, and then they're going to chain Maxi, and I'm going to call by the Maxi, because I don't know what they're drawing. Even though, because of the Appaloosa, I'm not going to be able to do too much of a combo, I'd rather just not have them draw. I mean, maybe I could have ashed, and then they could have negated with Appaloosa, which maybe would have been good enough, because then I could have rolled the Angeli and then done some stuff, but yeah, who knows. So they're going to make the on-field effect of the petting, so I'm going to normal the Angeli, and then I'm just going to make Teacher, just so I can keep, just so I can attack with this Appaloosa, and then play Grave Control. If you look at his graveyard, he has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, so if I shuffle 2 twice, that means he has 1, so he can't do anything. And if you look at his banish, he has 1, 2. So if he top decks Revolt, I'm going to only leave him on 3 total, so he can't make Charade. So this will feel pretty good. And plus with Ash. But he's got Gamma, which is kind of bad. But I'm going to Ash him just so I can get the guaranteed 2 shuffle now, just so he can't hard normal summon make Charade. And unfortunately he's bad. Unfortunately for me, he is bad, I should say, and he's got a Gamma here. Tisha makes it unaffected by the Gamma with the first effect, so he literally just wasted his Gamma. So, unfortunate for him. And I grab the 2 shuffles. And then for turn, he is going to draw Revolt and set it. And so I'm going to get the shuffle. Had he kept the Gamma, he could have gammed me here, and this Revolt would have been pretty good. But unfortunately for him, he's not very good. And I draw a Gelato, but I'm feeling fine anyway. I'll be able to, he doesn't really have anything grave, and he's going to Revolt, and then see he's only got 3, and cannot summon the Charade, and he's just going to scoop it up. And then the last replay is against ABC. So I draw Gelato, Angeli, Ticket, Cell, and Imperm, so I've got 1 interrupt plus combo with some Madolche spells maybe to kind of insulate it, but not really. So I'm going to start with a Union Hanger at B, then B, equip the Union Driver with the Hanger, then Union Driver for A, and then A, and then they're going to link this off for Union Carrier, and they're going to use B effect to search and A effect to add back the B. So here I know what Union Carrier does in this deck, so what they're going to do is they're going to use Union Carrier to equip Photon Orbital, and then they're going to use Photon Orbital to add Galaxy Soldier to hand, and then they're going to use Galaxy Soldier, discard the B, summon and search for Galaxy Soldier, search for a piece, then they're going to discard the last piece, summon Galaxy Soldier, so that's the combo that gives them ABC plus Cyber Dragon Infinity. So knowing this, I'm going to imperm the Union Carrier, and then hope they just haven't hard drew the Galaxy Warrior, or whatever the card name is. But yeah, they didn't, so I'm just going to set one pass. So I'm going to draw a Cold Buy, which makes me feel pretty good, because I've got the Insulation through a Hand Trap. So I'm going to activate both my Madolche spells, grab the extra normal of the Angeli, use Angeli effect. I'm going to chain Maxi. I really like getting Maxi, I guess. But Cold Buy for Maxi! Way. I am a good player. So I'm going to negate that, and then I'm going to summon Petting, and then I'm going to use the effect of Petting, summon Pudding, and then we're going to go to Battle Phase here. So he has one back row here. So instead of committing to my play, what I wanted to do is attack into this Union Carrier, and then that would hopefully blow up that back row in case it was, say, like a Solemn Judgment or something. So I'd clear that with the Pudding Battle effect. And then I have Ticket, which would grab me enough to keep playing because I have the Solemn, so it doesn't really matter. If I kill them, I just wanted to kind of ensure my play goes through. So I'm going to chain the insane tech of Machina Overdrive, summon Citadel, and then I'm going to attack into the Citadel just to force it to use the Raigeki effect. But I'm still going to get somewhat of what I wanted anyway, because I'm going to get the Shuffle backs, and then I'm going to get Ticket and so on, which will set Promenade, and then I'm going to add the Angeli or Hoot Cake. Yeah, I'm going to add Hoot Cake, because I started with Angeli. So I'm going to normal the Hoot Cake, and then I'm going to use the effect of Hoot Cake. Here I'm going to summon Angeli as opposed to Gelato to add the field, because I already have all the spells apart from the field. But if I summon Gelato, I don't actually have a guaranteed play next turn, because like I could Promenade back the Hoot Cake, but if they like clear my Ticket and then attack into my like Gelato, I won't have any monsters in grave, so I can't actually do anything. So I grab Angeli just to have the guaranteed play next turn, even if they were to wipe out my Ticket. And I don't think grabbing the field spell matters too much, given that I have all the other ones. So I'm going to start with Overdrive to grab the draw. Then I'm going to summon B, Union hanging on the B, and here I'm going to Promenade the Union Driver so they can't equip the other piece and then start coming off. And here I'm going to grab Ticket and so on. So I'm going to set a second Promenade, and then I'm probably going to Ticket for a Petting, and then use Petting effect summon Pudding from deck. And yeah, they're going to go just clear my Petting. And pass. So I draw Veiler, which is pretty good. It's going to be an extra interrupt. So I'm going to start with Angeli, summon the Petting, and I'm going to Petting summon Hoot Cake, and I'm going to Hoot Cake banish the Angeli for Mag. So here I'm trying to play around Nibiru, because I just had to read they had Nibiru, given they're playing ABC, so that deck normally plays it. And if we could have summoned the Gelato to add the field spell, I don't really know why I did, but whatever. This is what I summoned. I'm going to do the same thing again, where instead of committing to my play, I'm going to Pudding to go into battle to try and clear. It should have blew up the Union hand career, and then crashed the Hoot Cake into the Buster, but for some reason I decided to blow up the Buster because I'm very good. But whatever. And then I'm going to get in for some damage. And I'm going to make a Teacher. Because I'm not going for full combo, I decided to leave the Pudding Cess here just for the extra battle effect, in case they try and clear my board on my turn. So I'm going to use Teacher, get rid of 2 of their pieces, so they hopefully can't ABC me next turn. And I'm feeling pretty good here. I've got the Shuffle plus the Promenade plus the Veiler, but they're going to do something absolutely correct. So they're going to start with Photon Sanctuary, normal to C, C for Union Driver, and here I'm not going to negate the Union Driver like I did last time, because I'm kind of scared about what Link plays they're going to make, so I'm just going to start trying to save the Promenade for that, assuming that plus Veiler was enough. I'm just going to make Union Carrier again. C effect special B, so here they have C in grave and A and B on field, so I'm forced to Teacher here so they can't summon ABC, which is a bit bad because I only get the 1 shuffle instead of the 2 that I wanted. And also shuffle the Promenade away, trigger the Ticket and so on. going to set the Promenade for next turn, and then I'm going to tick it to summon Petting to summon an Angeli from the deck, because turning Angeli, well, summoning Angeli if I don't have the pudding is the only way to get a 4. And then they're going to link away for Security Dragon. They're going to use Union Carrier, which here are Veiler, given that they're going to do the combo that I said earlier with it. I'd rather them not summon an Infinity against me. And then the Security Dragon here to bounce, so they can clear this without worrying. I'm going to let it go through because it doesn't do anything. Then summon this card, VLAN Hydra. I've never seen this card in my life. Well, I mean, I have seen it, but I've never seen anyone play it. It does something kind of cracked. So it tributes this, summon 2 tokens. I thought, yeah, I'll let him summon 2 tokens. That sounds good. I'm just going to negate whatever big link he makes like an access code. And he's going to make Link Disciple, and he's going to make Nightmare Griffin, which is very bad for me. I didn't think about the fact he could make Nightmares, because he has 2 pieces in grave. If he discards the 3rd from hand, that gives him ABC. And that's exactly what he's going to do. And the Felon Sanctuary is the thing to set in graveyard. Obviously I'm going to let that go through because it doesn't do anything. I'm more worried about negating the Buster Banish. So he's going to Buster, attempt to banish my ticket, stop me on getting advantage next turn. But I will Prom just to stop it, because I don't have anything else to Prom this turn, given that he's basically done all his plays. I'm just going to play a bit on the board. It's going to pass. So here, unlike last time when I played around Nib, this time I'm going to very specifically play into Nib because I feel I have enough resources for it, and I also definitely have to clear his board. I'm going to start by negating the Griffin just so I can play, because I can't use monster effects unless I've got a link, something point to a link arrow point or something. There we go, that's what I meant to say. So here I'm just going to chain everything and use the Glass Souffle to shuffle the piece he had away. There's no particular reason for that, I don't know, I just did it. I'm going to set Chateau. I could set Prom here, but I'm going to get the Prom later. So, some of the Petting, some of the Pudding from hand, tribute for the Gelato, which is under Nib at this point, just to make sure I can grab the Promenade. And I'm going to make Glass Souffle, just to make sure that even if he does Nib, I will have the one monster that will survive. Then I'm going to Who Cake, summon, and then we're going to summon the Tiara. He's going to Buster me to Salon. I was like, yeah, whatever. Do what you want, because he knows he's going to have to tag out the Buster on this, and he's going to tag out the Buster on the Tiara effect, and he's going to chain Nib. So, yep, he does have Nib, as I suspected all along. Turns out that was the only Nib in his list, so he's a lucky guy, but whatever. I'm going to Glass Souffle the Tiara, so it survives even through the Nib. And then I'm going to get a very big token. Well, not too big, but pretty big. And he's going to summon his 3. Here I decided to shuffle in the B and the Union Hanger. That Union Hanger shouldn't have been there, but I'm not a smart player, but whatever. We got rid of those because the Union Hanger could give him a B back, and you know, B does more than C and A if they go to the grave. Although I am going to keep playing here, then get rid of those. I'm going to Prosperity here because given that he's nibbed me, I'm no longer going to be able to kill him. So I could have Prosperity'd earlier because you see the card I get actually would have stopped him nibbing me, or I could have maybe negated the ABC tag out effect, but you know, I thought I'd maybe kill him if he didn't have Nib, but it turns out he does. I did. So I'm going to Prosperity here just to grab something for next turn, and it turns out I can get Herald, which is going to be the interrupt. I'm going to Chateau just to get all my resources back. And summon Chocolate so I can crash into the Nib, because I'm going to use Petting and summon the Mag. No, yeah, dead. No, because I Chateaued, I have nothing in grave. That's the other reason why I did it, is so I can special Petting and then normal. I'm going to make the Tiara to get rid of the A and C, and also reshuffling the Prom for next turn. And I use the field to grab back Mag, just in case I need it. Set Prom, crash into the Nib, and then attack with Tiara. And he's going to start with Lightning Storm, which is pretty good, so I'm just forcing to Prom that there. I got rid of, put the Tiara back in the extra because I only have 2, so it's just to ensure I have 1 for next turn. He's got a normal heavy mech support thing he searched for earlier. I'm going to Herald it just to stop him doing things. Now I know he has the face down thing that's going to make him be able to do a bunch of links, but I bet that he doesn't have enough in hand to do the Union Carrier combo. And also that he doesn't have any other interesting plays, and it turns out I was correct because he's going to summon Union Carrier, activate the effect, realise he can't do anything, and scoop it up. So that's been it for the video. This is Gesture 100 signing off. Have a good day.